Sub-Saharan Africa is, geographically and ethnoculturally, the area of the continent of Africa that lies south of the Sahara. According to the United Nations, it consists of all African countries and territories that are fully or partially south of the Sahara. While the United Nations Geoscheme for Africa excludes Sudan from its definition of sub-Saharan Africa, the African Union's definition includes Sudan but instead excludes Mauritania. It contrasts with North Africa, which is frequently grouped within the MENA, however, geographically considered part of sub-Saharan Africa, although they are members of the Arab League as well. The UN Development Programme lists 46 of Africa's 54 countries as sub-Saharan, excluding Algeria, Djibouti, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Somalia, Sudan and Tunisia. The term has been criticized by late Professor Herbert Ekwe on Pambazuka as being a racist word because it refers to the area south of the Sahara by geographical conventions. Critics such as Professor Ekwe consider the term to imply a linguistic connotation of inferiority through its use of the prefix sub, which they see as a linguistic vestige of European colonialism. Since probably 3500 BCE, the Saharan and sub-Saharan regions of Africa have been separated by the extremely harsh climate of the sparsely populated Sahara, forming an effective barrier interrupted by only the Nile in Sudan. Though the Nile was blocked by the river's cataracts, the Sahara pump theory explains how flora and fauna left Africa to penetrate the Middle East and beyond. African pluvial periods are associated with a wet Sahara phase, during which larger lakes and more rivers existed. The ancient Greeks sometimes referred to sub-Saharan Africa as Ethiopia, but sometimes also applied this name more specifically to a state, originally applied to the Kingdom of Kush and the Sudan area, but then usurped by Aksum in the 4th century, which led to the name being designated to the nation of Ethiopia. Geographers historically divided the region into several distinct ethnographic sections, based on each area's respective inhabitants. Commentators in Arabic in the medieval period used the general term billed as Sudan, which was situated in the vicinity of the Great Lakes region. The geographers drew an explicit ethnographic distinction between the Sudan region and its analogue, Zanj, from the area to their extreme east on the Red Sea coast in the Horn of Africa. In modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea was Al-Habash or Abyssinia, which was inhabited by the Habash or Abyssinians, who were the forebears of the Habesha. In northern Somalia was Barbara or the Bild al-Barba, which was inhabited by the Eastern Barb or Barbaroi, as the ancestors of the Somalis were referred to by medieval Arab and ancient Greek geographers, respectively. In the 19th and 20th centuries, the populations south of the Sahara were divided into 3 broad ancestral groups: Hamites and Semites in the Horn of Africa and Sahel related to those in North Africa, who spoke languages belonging to the Afroasiatic family; Negroes in most of the rest of the subcontinent, who spoke languages belonging to the Niger-Congo and Nilo-Saharan families; and Khoisan in southern Africa, who spoke languages belonging to the Khoisan family. Sub-Saharan Africa has a wide variety of climate zones or biomes. South Africa and the Democratic Republic of the Congo in particular are considered megadiverse countries. It has a dry winter season and a wet summer season. According to paleontology, early hominid skull anatomy was similar to that of their close cousins, the great African forest apes, gorilla and chimpanzee. However, they had adopted a bipedal locomotion and freed hands, giving them a crucial advantage, enabling them to live in both forested areas and on the open savanna at a time when Africa was drying up, with savanna encroaching on forested areas. This occurred 10 million to 5 million years ago. By 3 million years ago, several Australopithecine hominid species had developed throughout southern, eastern and central Africa. They were tool users rather than tool manufacturers. The next major evolutionary step occurred around 2.3 million BCE, when primitive stone tools were used to scavenge the carcasses of animals killed by other predators, both for their meat and their marrow. In hunting, H. habilis was most likely not capable of competing with large predators and was more prey than hunter. Although H. Habilis probably did steal eggs from nests and may have been able to catch small game and weakened larger prey such as cubs and older animals. The tools were classed as Old Awan. Roughly 1.8 million years ago, Homo Augusta first appeared in the fossil record in Africa. From Homo Augusta, Homo Erectus evolved 1.5 million years ago. Some of the earlier representatives of this species were small-brained and used primitive stone tools. Much like H. habilis, the brain later grew in size. And H. erectus,